Seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago. But
Hello,
all will
and
be
welcome back
okay.
to episode 7 of my weight loss journey with Zepbound. Well, it's been a little over 6 weeks since I've been on here for an update. So I wanted to jump on here really quick and catch you up on all the things that have been going on. And I have some great news to share with you today. It has now been 17 weeks since I started my weight loss journey, and I am so excited to continue to share my experiences with you. I am still on the 5 milligram dose of Zepbound. However, because of the shortages, I have had to spread my doses out to about every 10 days. And I was coming down to my last shot that I had left. And I'd gone to my doctor, and he called in prescriptions for the 5 milligram, the 7.5, and the 10 milligram at different places. And every single place I checked with said they were completely out of stock. And I was starting to get worried if I'm going to be able to find it. And I had seen this website on TikTok that said they could help locate hard to find medications. And I got to admit, I was a little bit skeptical, especially at first. But I was having no luck on my own. I was calling every day to a number of pharmacies. And I thought, what the heck? I'll go ahead and I'll give them a try. The name of the website is Incito Medfinder, and their website address is going to be up here. It is https incitohealth.com, or you can go to Google and you can just type Medfinder. The cost is $50 for each prescription that you try to have them locate. And if they can't find the medication, you actually get your money back. And they have discounts if you actually purchase more than one search at a time. So I thought, okay, let's go ahead and give it a shot. So I typed in that I was trying to find Zepbound 7.5 because that's where my doctor really thought I was time to move up to the 7.5. So I thought, okay, let's try that. And I'll tell you, you put in your information, and that you put in your cell phone number, and that's the way they contacted you. So I put that information in. They contacted me back the next morning. I put it in on Sunday night. They contacted me the next morning, said we're going to start looking for things, in this time frame. Is that going to be okay? And I said yes. So within a day and a half after I put it in, I received a text message that said they had located the 7.5 milligram dose, and it was about 50 miles away. And in the text message, they included the name, the location, and the phone number of the pharmacy. So I immediately picked up my phone and I called that pharmacy, and they confirmed they had the medication in stock. And it was Walgreens, which is the same pharmacy that I had my 7.5 milligram prescription at. So I asked if they could just transfer my prescription over, and they said, sure, that's no problem. Then she asked me, would I like to have the medication sent to me overnight for no additional charge? I'm like, yeah, heck yeah, because I was planning to drive up there. So I received the medication the next morning in a styrofoam box with ice. So I honestly cannot say enough kind words about Medfinder. I had spent, again, a lot of time trying to contact pharmacies, and I had no luck, but they came through in a day and a half. So I would highly recommend them if you are having any issues trying to find this medication. They certainly helped me to be able to find that. So because of that, I am so thankful that my journey can continue. And I had got to tell you, I am still feeling awesome. And I continue to feel better than I have in years. I do notice that the food noise and the hunger comes back, especially once I get to about day 6 and 7. So I really have to be diligent and try to stay focused as I get to the end of my time period. As I get closer to that 10 days, I just have to be more diligent in what I'm trying to do and everything and make sure I'm tracking. So let's dive right into my results of where I'm at. So if you remember, my very highest weight that I have ever been was 349 pounds. And when I started taking Zepbound on January the 13th of this year, I weighed 339.3 pounds. So during my last update, I had weighed just under 300 pounds at 298.9 pounds. And this week I weighed in at 285.2 pounds. That is a loss of 13.7 pounds since my last episode, and a total loss of 54.1 pounds since I started taking Zepbound 17 weeks ago. That's an average of 3.18 pounds per week, which is totally amazing. And I got to say, it has slowed down the bits this past 6 weeks to about 2.28 pounds per week. But I am perfectly okay with that. This is my lowest weight that I have been at in over 15 years. So I am super, super excited about this and how things are working. I've also seen my BMI go down from 46.1 when I started to 38.7, which again makes me feel great. I continue to see changes in my clothing as it gets looser on me, which is another great feeling. I'm going to have to go buy some smaller clothes. As a matter of fact, I did go and I did buy a pair of smaller jeans again. If you remember, I started in a size 44 pants, and this week I was able to actually get into a size 38. Crazy. It just amazes me in this short of time how I've been able to do that. And if you also remember from my previous episode, when I first started, I told you had a belt, and I had to pull pretty tight just to get to that very first notch on the belt. And in the last episode, I was at the fourth notch on my belt. And today I'm easily getting to that fifth notch on my belt, and I'm getting closer to that last notch, which is 6. And I need to get me a smaller belt very soon. So again, I absolutely love these non-scale victories that are happening, and they keep me motivated to do things. So now let's talk about how everything else is sort of going. If you remember, let's talk about some side effects. I continue to have no adverse side effects so far with this medication. If you remember from my previous episodes, all of my side effects have been very minimal. During the first week, I had some breakthrough heartburn at night for about 3 days. The third week, I had some minor bloating for about 24 hours. And I've also had a couple days here and there with some minor constipation, but it really wasn't that bad. So overall, it has been a great experience for me so far. And again, I am so very thankful that I made the choice to begin this journey. I feel like it has truly been a life changer for me. Now, I did want to go over my latest blood work. So, my first blood work was done in November of 2023, and that was about 2 months before I began my weight loss journey. The second blood work was done in February of 2024, 1 month into my journey, and that's the one that I gave you an update on during my last video. And then my latest blood work was done the first week of May, where I've been taking up Zepbound for about 4 months. Let's start with my A1C. In November, my A1C was 6.7, which was clearly in the diabetic zone. In February, my A1C had dropped to 5.8, which was borderline diabetic. And in May, my A1C came in at 4.6. That is a dramatic drop, and my A1C is well within the normal range now. Again, I am so, so excited about these type of things. My fasting glucose in November was 98, and it had dropped to 80 in February. And it did come up a little bit in May to 88, but it is still a great number, and it is well within that normal range. My cholesterol in November was 153, and it dropped to 118 in February. And it also came up a little bit in May to 124, but it also remains well within the normal range, which is anything below 200. So I'm pleased with that. My LDL in November was 101, and it had dropped to 70 in February, and it rose slightly to 74 in May. Again, this is well within the normal range, so I'm happy with that. My HDL in November was 33, and it dropped to 31 in March, and it went up to 36 in May. which is still on the low side. But as I said last time, my HDLs have always run low. So again, I'm not too concerned with my HDLs. My triglycerides in May were 97, and they were 84 in May, or in February, and then they were 69 in May. So again, my triglycerides have come down. So now if you remember from my last video, my AST and my ALT, which are the liver enzymes, had been going up, and they were starting to get pretty high to where my doctor was a little bit getting cautious about where things were standing with it. And so in November, if you remember, my AST was 46 and it had gone up to 57. My ALT was 66 in November and gone up to 79 in February. And because of these numbers, they ran my blood through another test, and the lab concluded at that time that I likely had NASH, which is a more severe form of the non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. The result also stated that my liver could have some fibrosis, which is scarring of the liver. And my doctor wanted me to have a scan of my liver. However, for some reason, this never got scheduled by the doctor's office. But I'm happy to report that my latest blood work has improved dramatically. My AST dropped from 57 to 29, and normal is anything equal or below 34. So this is totally within the normal range now. My ALT dropped from 79 to 34, and the normal is between 10 and 49. So again, this is all within the normal range. And the rest of the blood work for my liver all came back normal. So my doctor said my blood work is looking fantastic. And he was thrilled. And he said he doesn't even believe that we need to continue to move forward with that liver scan anymore. And I got to just tell you, I am so very thankful again for this medication, because I believe it is truly saving my life at this point. So I just cannot say enough about how happy I am with these results of what I've gotten so far. And I cannot let myself go back to that stage again to do that. And I've got to continue forward with this journey, and that's what I'm going to do. So let's move forward. Let's talk about how my food choices have been over the past few weeks. I believe I continue to make very good food choices along the way. I focus on getting my proteins, my fruits, and my vegetables and my fiber in every day. I also have started to limit the amount of red meat that I eat. I focus on eating like chicken, and I eat fish at least twice a week. I continue to use my Weight Watchers app, that's set on the GLP-1 mode, to track all of my proteins, my fruits, my vegetables, and my water. And my current weight app says that I should be getting in 103 grams of protein a day, along with my 4 servings of fruits and vegetables. And I do pretty good with staying right within that target area. I also continue to stay hydrated by drinking at least 100 ounces of water per day. Now, as far as exercise, this again is where I still struggle. Um, Especially since the last time we had met on here. I was recently involved in a car accident, and I'm still having some issues from that. But the good news is that I am working with a physical therapist, and I am on the road to starting to feel better. So that is my short updates. And as we conclude today's weight loss journey, remember, every step we take on this path, no matter how small, is a victory. Every time we choose that healthy meal, every workout we complete, every time we track our progress, every journal entry we make, every time we meditate, we complete what we're doing. And we are making that decision to be a better version of ourselves. We are all worth it. Stay motivated, stay strong, and let's make our next step a confident one. Thank you all so very much for being a part of this journey with me. Together, we can face our challenges and we can celebrate our victories. I will see you next time. And remember, it is our journey, it is our pace, and it is our success. I hope everyone has a fantastic week. And until next time, bye.